Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Renegade Immortal based on novel. So let's start. At the far west side of Jiao lies an extremely cold plain. Even cultivators rarely step foot there. Other than the extreme cold, this place has the Nine Earth aura, something that even nascent soul cultivators don't want to touch. Anyone under the nascent soul stage will be seriously injured if they touch it. This is where the corpse sect in Jiao is located. Wang Lin's figure moved past the plain like a ghost. He could see now that this place was surrounded by a giant formation, so normal people wouldn't be able to enter at all. However, this formation was really easy to break for the current Wang Lin. He stopped somewhere on the plain, then he took a step and disappeared. He was standing on one of the formation's eyes when he disappeared. When Wang Lin reappeared, he was underground. He looked around and saw the endless tunnels and caves of the maze-like corpse sect. There were cultivators cultivating in each of the caves. These people were at various cultivation levels, most were at the foundation establishment stage, there were a few at the core formation stage, and even fewer nascent soul cultivators. Wang Lin's divine sense spread out, and the entire corpse sect appeared in his mind. He paid extra attention to the cave at the center of the corpse sect. Li Qingping was quietly cultivating at the large cave at the center of the corpse sect. There was a cloud of black fog behind him that had countless tentacles extending from it. Li Qingping was the current sect master of the corpse sect in Jiao. He had already reached the late stage of nascent soul. His outer appearance made him seem like he was around 40 years old. Although some of the hair on his head had turned white, he looked very handsome. He must have been a ladies' man when he was younger. He has been in charge of the corpse sect in Jiao for 200 years, and has always been very cautious. He rarely interacted with the outside world, making the corpse sect even more mysterious in Jiao. He spent all his time in closed-door cultivation in the hopes of reaching the soul formation stage, before the soul inside his corpse puppet takes him over. Once he reaches the soul formation stage, the corpse sect headquarters on planet Suzaku will have a good body prepared for him. As a result, he will be able to become a core disciple of the corpse sect, and if his performance is good, he might get moved to the headquarters. Li Qingping, who was cultivating, didn't detect Wang Lin's divine sense at all, but the black fog behind him trembled as two ghostly eyes appeared within it. However, what the eyes revealed wasn't the normal calm and coldness. They were filled with fear and terror. Senior, the figure trembled and was about to speak. You are an interesting little fellow to be able to detect my arrival, with only your mid-stage soul formation cultivation. Wang Lin's voice echoed in the ears of the black fog. The black fog began to tremble even more. When Wang Lin's divine sense swept by, he felt a cold wind blow on him, causing his soul origin soul to become unstable to the point that it was on the verge of collapsing. This kind of thing only happened when he faced the elders of his sect. The black figure quickly said, with a trembling voice, "Please have mercy, Senior." The reason Junior was able to notice is because Junior's cultivation method is related to divine sense, so I just barely managed to notice. He knew that with this Senior's cultivation, even if he had his body, the Senior would be able to kill him without any problems. He guessed that this person was a soul transformation old monster. Oh? What sect are you from? Wang Lin sent out a message with his divine sense. Senior, I'm not a person from planet Suzaku, but a disciple of the Mile sect on planet Tianyun. Junior lost his body and spent a great deal of resources to buy a body from the corpse sect, the black fog quickly replied, and he didn't dare to lie about anything. If you are someone from planet Tianyun, why are on planet Suzaku? Wang Lin's divine sense was cold. The black fog's keen perception of divine sense was really good, so he was immediately able to detect the coldness in Wang Lin's divine sense. His body trembled and he quickly answered, "Senior, please don't be angry, don't be angry. If I were to recover on planet Tianyu, it would cost too much. Junior can't afford to pay that many celestial jades. So I could only choose to recover on planet Suzaku. Although it will take longer to possess, it is the best choice for Junior." Wang Lin asked, "What is your name?" The Black Fog quickly replied, Junior's name is Cao Ido. The Black Fog's careful reply reminded Wang Lin of Shuligua. Cao Ido. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and his divine sense formed a giant head that reached toward the Black Fog. Cao Ido was terrified and immediately left Li Qingping's body. He tried dodging the hand and then said, everything Junior says is the truth, it's the truth. He had some mysterious connection with Li Qingping. Now that Cao Ido had moved, it shocked Li Qingping awake and he shouted, who? Ripples appeared in the air as Wang Lin walked out. The moment Wang Lin walked out, he looked coldly at Li Qingping. Just one glance caused Li Qingping's body to tremble and start soaking in cold sweat. He secretly cursed. That one glance was like a sword piercing right through his body. Even his nascent soul was frozen and his entire body felt cold. It was as if he was completely naked and had no secrets left to hide in front of this person. Wang Lin coldly said, you, shut up. Then he looked at the Black Fog that was huddled in the corner of the cave. Li Qingping inhaled a breath of cold air. He didn't dare to move an inch as cold sweat covered his forehead. Even when he met Soul Formation seniors back at headquarters, none of them even had 1/10,000th of the aura that this person had. Li Qingping's heart was pounding as he bitterly thought, soul transformation. It must be a soul transformation, old freak. When did this old monster get here? Wang Lin's right hand reached out, and Cao Ido's origin soul was dragged over from the corner. This Cao Ido's face was filled with panic as he screamed, Senior, I'm a customer of the corpse sect. If you capture me to refine a treasure, the corpse sect definitely won't let you go. Wang Lin sneered and calmly said, who said I was going to refine you into a treasure? You are not even worth it. Cao Ido trembled and thought that if this soul transformation cultivator wanted to capture a soul formation cultivator's soul, it would be too easy, there was no need to come looking for him. Cao Ido suppressed the fear in his body and carefully asked, Senior, you. Could it be that you want me to do something? Wang Lin's voice didn't contain a trace of arrogance as he calmly said, become my slave for 100 years. After 100 years, I'll gift you a soul transformation body. Do you agree? Cao Ido was startled. A soul transformation body was something he never thought he could obtain in his life. If he had a soul transformation body, then increasing his cultivation level to the soul transformation stage would be a lot easier. Even if he couldn't reach the soul transformation stage, all of his spells would still become a lot more powerful. It has to be said that a soul transformation body was like the body of a celestial. In the corpse sect, the cost of a soul transformation corpse was beyond imagination. Even if he had all of his lifespan, he would still need more than 1,000 years to buy half a corpse. He clenched his teeth. Senior, you have to promise that I won't die in this 100-year period. Wang Lin calmly said, as long as I don't die, you won't. Cao Ido quickly and respectfully said, okay, Cao Ido greets master. He was going to risk it all. A soul transformation cultivator had no reason to trick him. He also knew that the reason Wang Lin had thrown out such a tempting offering meant that he would be of a great use to this person. However, to get anything good, there had to be risks, and he was willing to take this risk for a soul transformation body. Very good. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to do anything dangerous. I just want your knowledge about planet Qianyun. How much do you know about the planet? As Wang Lin said this, he waved his hand and Li Qingping passed out. Wang Lin didn't want others to know that he was about to go to planet Qianyun. He had been very careful about this matter. Cao Ido quickly said, Planet Qianyun. Master, I grew up on planet Qianyun, and although it is very big, I'm very familiar with it. Master, could it be that you want to go to planet Qianyun and have me act as your guide? That is correct. Since that is the case, our deal can happen. Wang Lin slapped his bag of holding and took out a soul flag. This soul flag was the one containing Li Yuanfeng, the one he had personally made. With one wave, before Cao Ido could react, Wang Lin put Cao Ido inside the flag. With that, Wang Lin disappeared from the cave. This wasn't his first time here, so he was very familiar with his place. He moved through the maze-like corpse sect toward the spot where he once cultivated. Along the way, not a single corpse sect disciple was able to detect Wang Lin. Even those that weren't cultivating were unable to notice Wang Lin as he passed by them. Just like this, Wang Lin soon arrived at the cave where he cultivated before. There was someone cultivating inside. This cultivator was a girl. She looked ordinary, but she had a determined expression on her face as she continued to absorb the yin energy coming out from the small holes in the wall. Wang Lin appeared inside the cave and took a look at the girl before turning into smoke and entering one of the small holes in the wall. When Wang Lin was still at the foundation establishment stage, his body couldn't enter the small hole. He could only enter with his divine sense, and it required a lot of energy, so he had to keep drinking the dew from the heaven-defying bead to slowly extend his divine sense until he reached where the giant was. After he was inside the small hole, before he even got far, a call came from underground. "Save me!" This sound reached Wang Lin's ears and went directly into his soul. This was the exact same cry from before. He ignored the voice and quickly moved through the small hole. With his cultivation, he could quickly move to the hidden chamber through the small hole in the wall. Shortly after, Wang Lin arrived at a cave with countless small holes in the walls. He came in through one of these small holes. There was a giant coffin at the center of the cave. This coffin looked very ordinary and had no decorations at all. However, a powerful yin aura was leaking from inside it. This yin aura was turned into white gas, which was being sucked away by the small holes in the wall. The coffin was completely empty aside from the giant hole in it. The yin aura was coming from this hole. Wang Lin didn't stop, he dove into the coffin. The yin aura here was very thick. It formed waves of yin energy that attempted to stop him from going deeper. "Save me!" The call for help became even more eager as it came out from the hole and echoed in Wang Lin's ears. Wang Lin went into the hole. The deeper he went, the stronger the yin aura got. The yin aura circled around Wang Lin, but wasn't able to get inside him. As Wang Lin went deeper, a mass of blue gas appeared before him. The blue gas seemed to have formed a door that sealed off the area. Wang Lin had encountered this blue gas before as well. Back then he had to squeeze in from the side. However, now the yin gas collapsed as Wang Lin smashed into it. "Save me!" The call for help became even more clear the moment the blue gas was swept away. Wang Lin's body back then couldn't handle this yin energy. If he had made a mistake, the yin energy would have invaded his body and then frozen him solid. But right now he felt extremely comfortable, as he smashed through all the doors formed by yin energy. When he was near the bottom of the hole, Wang Lin smashed through the last yin energy door and made his way inside. This was a very large cave. According Wang Lin's analysis, it was roughly the same size as the plane above. At the center of the cave was a large cloud of white fog that released a powerful yin energy. This white fog took up 3/4 of the cave. Wang Lin's figure appeared in the air. His eyes lit up as he stared at the white fog. There would occasionally be flashes of ghostly light coming from within the white fog as the purple vines moved. The more the vines moved, the more white fog appeared. Wang Lin's eyes lit up, he took a deep breath, and blew out a breath of air. A gust of wind appeared and blew away a large amount of white fog, but the moment it was blown away, more appeared. Wang Lin remained calm as he let out a cold snort. He slapped his bag of holding and took out a celestial jade. He held it in his left hand while his right hand formed a seal. He pointed at the white fog with his right hand and whispered, "Wind, move." A basic wind skill that could be used by Foundation establishment cultivators was being used by Wang Lin right now. However, this spell contained celestial spiritual energy, so its power was beyond imagination. A gust of wind several times more powerful appeared and blew toward the white fog. This gust looked like a tidal wave quickly blowing the white fog away. Then it turned into a tornado and pulled in any white fog that got close to it. The fog was like falling leaves being picked up by a gust. All of the fog was blown away by the tornado, so what was hidden inside it was revealed. A large, naked, blue-skinned body was floating in the air. His skin wasn't rough like the ancient gods, but mirror smooth. The top of the corpse was covered in purplish-green plants. Every time the plants moved, the corpse would shrink a bit but quickly recover. This cycle was creating the white fog. What shocked Wang Lin was that on the forehead of this giant was a faint axe that was flashing weakly. He was now confident that this person was the giant demon clan's founding ancestor that had brought the giant demon clan here. This person was the one that charged into the Forsaken Immortal clan's army with the giant axe and killed 3 nine-leaf shamans. Wang Lin now had a much better understanding of how the Forsaken Immortal clan's ranking was done. Ignoring those below the 7-leaf stage, 7 and 8-leaf shamans were similar to soul transformation cultivators, while 9-leaf shamans were similar to early-stage ascendant cultivators. To be able to kill 3 early-stage ascendant-level cultivators was not easy, and let's not forget that he charged into the middle of the enemy's troops to do so. That kind of fierceness and battle strength was rarely seen. Save me, the call for help was even clearer here and continued to enter Wang Lin's ears. Wang Lin ignored the call. Instead, he took a closer look at the giant body. He could feel a powerful life force coming from the body, but there seemed to be a mysterious formation that stopped the life force from moving. As for the purplish-green plants, their roots were like sharp needles that pierced through the giant's body. They were absorbing his boundless life energy and turning it into yin energy. This wasn't the first time Wang Lin had seen this, but even now he was still shocked. This giant demon clan ancestor's body, although it wasn't as strong as the ancient gods, was several times stronger than Wang Lin's current 3-star ancient god body. It was comparable to a 5 or 6-star ancient god's body. The giant demon clan founding ancestor's cultivation level is indeed shocking. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Save me, the calls for help became more frequent. It seemed like this giant demon clan founding ancestor had noticed Wang Lin's presence. Wang Lin ignored the cry for help and instead landed on the giant body. The moment he landed, those purplish-green parasitic plants began to emit a sizzling sound. Shortly after, the plants began to move. Their sharp and bloody roots came out from the giant's body and pointed at Wang Lin. As this happened, the giant's body kept twitching as if it was in pain. Wang Lin coldly looked at the plants, then he waved his hand and flames covered the area. The flames contained celestial spiritual energy, so the plants immediately backed away from them. He didn't want to harm these plants. With his experience, he could tell that these plants had a lot to do with the restriction inside this giant. If he destroyed the plants, he might mess with the seal and free the giant. Wang Lin didn't want to sit down with the giant and ask if he could borrow his blood. At the moment those plants backed up, Wang Lin slapped his bag of holding and the celestial sword appeared. He swung the sword down on the giant's body. The sound of 2 pieces of metal scraping against each other could be heard and sparks flew out from where the sword landed. A powerful pressure had suddenly repelled the sword. This force pushed the celestial sword back 3 inches, causing Wang Lin to exclaim in surprise. When he saw how easy it was for the planets to stab into the giant's body, he thought that it would be easy to cut it with the sword. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he looked around at the surrounding plants. He quickly got out of there with the celestial sword in hand. The surrounding plants let out sizzling sounds, then bolts of purple lightning came from within them and attacked Wang Lin. Wang Lin waved the celestial sword, causing all of the plants to retreat. He reached out and caught one of the plants and ripped it in half. As he examined one half of the plant, he saw a green liquid that gave off a rotten smell coming out from the tip. After grabbing a bunch of plants, Wang Lin pressed them down onto the giant's body. Then he heard a sound similar to the crackling of wood burning. Black gas immediately rose from the spot where the plant's roots touched, and then they easily went into the giant's body. Just at this moment, a powerful force came from the plants. They broke free from Wang Lin's hand and disappeared into the giant's body. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He looked at the surrounding plants that wouldn't dare to come closer and sneered. These tentacles are interesting. He touched his bag of holding and took out a jade bottle. He got this jade bottle by accident during his trip to the celestial realm. There was nothing special about this bottle. Its only feature was that it could hold a large amount of liquid. Its function was similar to that of a bag of holding. Holding the jade bottle in one hand, Wang Lin pressed his other hand on the wound on the giant's body. With some force, he pushed out blood into the jade bottle. Save me, Wang Lin was standing on the giant. This call for help seemed to be right next to his ear, it was very clear. Wang Lin continued to ignore the giant demon clan's founding ancestor. He wouldn't save someone who he couldn't control unless he had a reason. Once this person regains his cultivation, he will have no use for Wang Lin. And even if this person promised good treasures, it would be hard to attract Wang Lin. Aside from the blood he was here for, he didn't want to get into any unnecessary trouble. The blood came out drop by drop, which was pretty slow. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he looked at the blood vessel on the giant's neck. There had to be a lot of blood there. However, there were a lot of purplish-green plants covering the giant's chest. They were everywhere, leaving no place to get a foothold. Save me. I'll give you the giant demon clan's main treasure. Even after hearing the word treasure, Wang Lin still remained calm. He had killed the giant demon clan ancestor, and sealed the giant demon clan once. If this founding ancestor were to go free and found out about it, Wang Lin would be the first person he would go after. Wang Lin hadn't yet reached a point where he could fear nothing. Moreover, the giant demon clan's founding ancestor hadn't even said what the treasure was. Wang Lin looked at the plants on the giant's chest, then he slapped his bag of holding and the restriction flag appeared. He hadn't used the restriction flag in a while after obtaining the soul flag. Right now was the right moment to use it. Wang Lin shook the restriction flag, causing ropes of restriction gas to appear, then he shouted, "Seal." With one word, all of the ropes of restriction gas turned into restrictions that glowed black. The restrictions moved like ghosts and landed on the giant's chest. Each restriction was like a large net that sealed the plants on the giant's chest. At the same time, he charged out and tore off one branch of the plant. Wang Lin was gentle when dealing with these plants to ensure that they would remain intact. Until now he had only broken off 2 branches. With the branch in hand, he landed on the giant's neck. He felt a powerful life force coming from the giant when he touched the giant's neck with his hand. His eyes lit up as he pressed the branch down on the giant's neck to draw blood. Save me. If you are willing to save me, I'm willing to become your servant and mount. I'll also give you the giant demon clan's treasure, the heaven-opening metal. The call of help was even more real. Mount? Wang Lin trembled and the branch in his hand paused for a moment. Correct, I'm willing to become your mount. Those powerful cultivators in the Cultivation Alliance like to use giant demon clan members as mounts. If you save me, I'm willing to become your mount. The voice was filled with eagerness. After pondering for a bit, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he pressed the branch down on the giant's neck. A black circle appeared on the giant's skin as the branch dug into the blood vessel and disappeared. At the same time, blood sprayed out. Wang Lin quickly pressed the jade bottle against the wound and collected all of the blood without missing a drop. The collection speed from before couldn't compare to right now. A large amount of blood was being collected in the jade bottle until the body began to twitch. The powerful life force followed the blood into the jade bottle. Why aren't you willing to save me when I'm willing to become your mount? What exactly do you want in exchange for saving me? The voice was now a roar. Wang Lin's voice was calm as he collected the blood and asked, "Who are you?" "I'm the giant demon clan's branch leader, Lei Ji." This voice was filled with a strong sense of pride. Wang Lin calmly asked, "Lei Ji, how were you sealed here?" "Because of the corpse sect. During the battle with the Forsaken Immortal clan, I was hunted by 2 11-leaf shamans, and was heavily injured after I escaped. The corpse sect saw that as an opportunity, so they found a powerful cultivator from another planet, and captured me and sealed me here while I was seriously injured." Wang Lin looked at the jade in his hand. He spread out his divine sense and found that the bottle had collected a large amount of blood. "You save me and I'll become your mount. The members of my giant demon clan won't easily become someone else's mount, but once we do, we would never betray our master." Wang Lin asked, "Mount? What benefit is there to having a giant demon clan member as a mount?" At this moment, the stream of blood coming out of the wound was thinning and the wound seemed to be healing. Wang Lin pointed at the giant's neck, Then the jade bottle flew into the air and was caught by him. At the same time, his right hand, which was filled with celestial spiritual energy, descended and hit the giant's neck. A large amount of blood sprayed out once more, and was collected by the jade bottle. Do you know of the star compass? A giant demon clan member's body is similar to the star compass, but much stronger. Our bodies are the best tools for traveling among the stars. Also, the giant demon clan members' bodies aren't affected by some places that cultivators can't even go to. This is why those powerful cultivators in the Cultivation Alliance pay great prices for one of my clan members to be their mount. Strange. Wang Lin frowned. Although this giant demon clan ancestor's voice sounded very anxious, the replies were very detailed. This point was very strange. It didn't match someone who was very anxious. It was as if everything was just an act. This person first offered to be a mount, and to give him the giant demon clan's treasure. Then he began to answer Wang Lin's questions in detail, and thus delayed for time. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he pressed his hand on the giant's neck. He used celestial spiritual energy, causing the giant to bleed even faster. And my clan's treasure, the heaven-opening metal, if you save me, I'll give it to you. That is a treasure that is even more powerful than a celestial treasure. The voice contained a hint of temptation. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he sneered and said, "What is the heaven-opening metal?" "It is a treasure that my giant demon clan's first ancestor left behind. There are a total of 99 pieces. Gather them all and they can be used to create an ancient god's battle armor. Wear this armor and you can have the power of the ancient gods from legend. If you save me, I'll reveal the location of one piece." As more blood was drained, the voice became weaker, but the replies were still very detailed. Wang Lin's smile became even colder. He was confident now that this giant was stalling for time. The giant was probably trying to do something. The longer he spent drawing blood, the more it benefited the giant. Thinking about this, Wang Lin decisively grabbed the jade bottle and jumped off the giant. At the same time, he waved his hand and the restrictions sealing the plants returned to the restriction flag. Without the restrictions sealing them, the plants began to move once more. A few of them arrived next to the wound on the giant's neck, drilled inside, and began to move around. "You, save me. If you save me, I can make the giant demon clan members on planet Suzaku recognize you as their master." Floating in the air, Wang Lin's eyes became cold and he whispered, "I can't save you. Saving you doesn't benefit me. I'm not interested in any of the treasures you speak of, and leaving you here so I can gather blood at any time is for the best." The voice quickly said, "You must have great use for my blood. I have bone marrow essence. The energy from that is even more powerful than the energy from my blood. If you want, I can give it to you. I don't even need you to save me. Just send news of me to the giant demon clan, or the current Suzaku. How about it?" Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He coldly laughed and no longer wasted time with this person. He turned into green gas and disappeared from this place. After Wang Lin left, the giant's body trembled and let out a roar. Only half an incense stick more of time. If that person had continued to drain my blood until there was only 1/3 of it left, it would have definitely lured out the main root in my body. Then I would have a way for my soul to leave this body. This person's roar was filled with frustration. His closed eyes suddenly opened up. Two lights even brighter than lightning flashed in his eyes. As he roared, his expression turned painful as the skin that covered his backbone began to move. Shortly after, purplish-blue thorns poked out from his spine. Rows of scary-looking thorns that were glowing purple appeared on his back. At the top of the giant's spine, a purple plant half the size of the giant's body came out. At the same time, it extended countless branches that slowly covered the giant. A purple flower 1/3 the size of the giant blossomed. It slowly drained the life force from the giant's body to grow. The giant bitterly roared, "Corpse sect. If I, Lei Ji, can break free one day, I'll never let this go." Wang Lin's body appeared inside the corpse sect. He pointed at the air, causing a soul fragment to appear. This soul fragment was the one he had left behind in the cave after he left to check out the situation. The cave had a mysterious power that greatly restricted divine sense, but it didn't have much effect on soul fragments. When Wang Lin pointed at the soul fragment, his eyes lit up and he let out a smile. Then he moved and disappeared from the corpse sect. Wang Lin appeared on the plain above the corpse sect. He suddenly looked to the north and saw a giant wave of blue gas coming toward him like a tsunami. Inside the blue gas tsunami, a boy wearing red was walking this way. This boy was very handsome, his face was as white as jade and he looked very cute. However, his eyes contained a very fierce flame that was well hidden. This wasn't directed at Wang Lin, it was just how his personality was. He walked over step by step. Even the heavens and earth seemed to tremble under his feet. As the blue gas passed, all of the grass and clouds turned blue, creating a bright blue glow. Ha ha, Wang Lin, what do you think of this old man's new body? Part 1 end here.